In this lesson, I will show you how to work with multiple toolpaths using Mastercam. We will start this lesson assuming you already have one toolpath and build from there. So we have our drawing here. We have a toolpath. We've looked at it. We've experimented with different depths that we can cut, and we're still not, completely happy with it. Let's do one more thing. Let's go into Roughing and Finishing tab, and I'm just going to click on the rough checkbox there. You have different ways for it to rough out the material. I'm just going to leave it on zigzag, and I'm going to click OK. And you'll notice as soon as I change anything in that toolpath parameter, we have to regenerate it. And I'm just going to click up here. And you will notice that now the toolpath looks completely different. The blue is indicating everything that is being removed. And let's go ahead and verify that and see what it looks like in simulation mode. Left click up here. I'm just going to fast forward it because it'll take a while to do. So now when you look at it, now everything in between the contours has been removed. So it drastically changes how the finished product looks. Is it better? Is it worse? That's personal preference. If this is what you like, that's great. The machine can cut that, but we probably wouldn't want to cut it with the bit that we have in there. The engraving bit, if you remember, I told you has a 5,000th point tip on it. And that's approximately the thickness of 2 human hairs. So think about that. That point is going back and forth in that area. Those lines represent the tool going back and forth, stepping over to create a smooth surface. Although the end result looks great, the time it would take using that tool bit would be, I don't even know how long it would take. It would probably take 8 to 10 hours for it to machine that out. If you like that, if that's what you want, we can do it way more efficiently, and that's the whole point of this video. I'm going to show you how to change and use multiple tool paths with different tools in them. So let's go up to tool paths now and add another one. Add another. Let's just change. There we go. I'm going to select window, select this again, create a start point. Good. Okay, I'm adding it to this bottom one here, and I'm just going to add the exact same thing again. It's already that one. I'm not going to change anything there. I don't want that on though this time. Click OK. So you'll see I have to regenerate. Okay, that's this one down here. I'm going to go back and change this one. This one I'm going to change to a different tool. I want to change it to, and I'm just going to filter so you guys can see this. If you haven't done this before, click the filter button. A selection of tool types will come up. You want to click the end mill here. These are the bits that have a flat bottom on them. They remove quite a bit of material quickly. I'm going to click this, and I want to just see a list of all my end mills. And here it is right here. For this particular project, I'm going to choose the 1/4 straight bit and click OK. Oh, it's just telling me it already exists. That's fine. Yeah, I should have seen that there. Yours wouldn't have it there. This is what the tool looks like. Right? It's got a flat bottom. We could change stuff, but we don't need to. And it's this one that I'm going to change some of the parameters on. I'm going to leave the depth okay, and I'm going to make sure the roughing is selected. That means it's going to remove the majority of the material, and then the other tool will come in and clean up around the edges. And you can see I need to regenerate this tool path, so I'm just going to come up here and do that. And you'll see now, when I zoom in, you can see the tool path is cleaning out way more efficiently. It's not taking nearly as many passes to kind of clean it out. And that's just the larger bit. Let's take a look at that and see what it looks like when we verify it. It won't look completely done. It won't look quite right because there's parts of the geometry that it can't get to. Right? It doesn't look quite finished here. But that's normal. That's just the big 1/4 inch tool bit. If we click on this one and verify it, we should see what we saw before. Right? That's this look. And now when we put them both together, we'll see what it looks like. When you want to verify them both together, all you need to do is you need to hold the shift key down. You see this little check mark here? I need to left click on this one too, and it shows both tool paths, and now I'm going to verify it. Left click, and I'm just going to speed through it. So here's what it looks like. Now, if there are any mistakes, or if you have missed a check on any of the parameter windows, this is where you'll see it. And I mean, I see some problems here. It doesn't quite look right. It doesn't look like it did when we first did it with the one tool bit. And this is a perfect example of, if you see something here, it's going to be in your wood. I'm just zooming in on the tail end of that question mark. Look here, the 1/4" tool bit got as far as it could, and then it stopped because that question mark got smaller. The engraving bit came in and did its thing around the edge, but it left like a mountain right in the middle. Well, if you don't catch that, that'll happen in the wood as well. We can get rid of it. We just have to go back in the parameters and tell it to get rid of it. And there's a couple of other areas where we have to do that too. Right there is another one. So I'll show you how to do that. So I'm just going to click OK. We need to go back into the parameters of each of these. This is the 1/4" one, the end mill, flat one. And I need to angle for flat cutter offset. I need to make sure that the flat cutter doesn't go too close to the edge. And I need to give it, I know the angle of the engraving bit, and I need to make sure that's set to 30 degrees. And that's okay. You'll notice when I update it, I am also going to have to regenerate it again. And just before I do that, I want to go back into the parameters of the engraving one. And what else do I need to do? I need to, that's okay, I need to turn on remachining, left click on it, and I need to compute remachining stock from previous operation, and I need to make sure that's checked. That's important. It won't be on yours. And click OK. You'll notice I've updated it, so now they both have to be regenerated if I want to regenerate them both at once. As long as there's a check mark on these folders, and in order to get a check mark, I have to hold down the shift key. Now they're both selected, you can see that. And I can use this one now, regenerate all selected operations. Oh, that's not good. There we go. Okay, so let's see what you can toggle back and forth between toolpaths. You can actually see what it's doing here. That's this one. We've seen them individually. I can tell already that the engraving bit is doing its thing around the edge, and then it comes back and cleans out where the 1/4" bit couldn't get in. So I think we fixed that problem here, but let's verify it just to make sure. We want to make sure both of these are selected and verify, and I'm just going to fast forward through it. And if we look here, let's go back into where there was that mountain there. Yeah, it's gone. Right, and it looks like the rest of it looks better too. So now we have used two toolpaths, two different tools, and we've created a completely different look all off the same geometry. It just takes a little bit of experimentation and playing. On the computer here, you can't really hurt too many things, so this is a great place to experiment. Hopefully you've learned something here. If this is what you wanted to take to the router, we would then save it and print out our G-code. And I'll show you how to do the posting of the G-code in the next lesson. Thanks.